Hello YouTube, my name is Plazukas, and today's video is going to be on PS5 Pro games that I believe are going to launch or be exclusive to the PlayStation Pro. I know that's a bit of an absurd statement to suggest that something is going to be exclusive to the PlayStation 5 Pro, but I do think that there's going to be one game in the year of its launch that will be exclusive to take advantage of its hardware and be able to basically be one-to-one from its PlayStation version to its PC version, which most likely would imply online services. So without further ado, the top 5 PlayStation 5 Pro console launch games. Number 5, Concord from Firewalk Studios. It was revealed at the PlayStation Showcase, said to come out in 2024. It's inspired by Guardians of the Galaxy. We know it's going to be an online game, have online features, and I think for the PlayStation 5 Pro, it could be exclusive. And here's the reason why. I think they need to showcase graphics. I think they need to showcase physics. I think they need to showcase fidelity. I think they need to showcase frames per second. I think they need to showcase resolution. I think that is the next evolution of a PlayStation exclusive game. And then the fact that it's going to be releasing both on the PlayStation 5 and the PC at the same time, as this suggests, would imply that very aspect to where it has parity from the PlayStation 5 Pro version to the PC version. Not cap it at the PC version, but keep it so that it's going to be in parity so that the online ecosystem is about as equal as possible for when you're playing from each different systems. Number 4, Horizon Online, developed or potentially by NCSoft in conjunction with Guerrilla Games. We've known about this particular game for a while, although it's never been actually confirmed. We do know it's in the works. It has not been canceled with the recent layoffs and all the other closures at PlayStation, Sony. So, and this is the one thing that Sony and PlayStation has continued to double down on is this franchise. It just barely got a PC release for its Horizon Forbidden West edition, which has done phenomenally with reviews and people breaking down the actual specs of the software and the game, which would imply that the Decima engine, which is both used by Guerrilla and Kojima Productions, is of the top tier, so much so that the recent DLC only works on the PlayStation 5 to showcase all of its graphical upgrades. This, I think, indicates the potential for a game like Horizon Online that's going to have to essentially provide, again, just like Concord, a level of fidelity and graphics that is just unmatched in the industry. And that is going to be the appeal to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro. And I think that would also allow for it to have more parity with the PC version, for that ecosystem to exist from one-to-one. Number 3, Ghost of Tsushima 2. This has been one of the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 holdovers that everyone has expected to have a release. We've had God of War, we've had Horizon Forbidden West. We are now ready for Ghost of Tsushima 2. It is launching on PC relatively soon. Again, another studio that has had work with the PC port, although maybe not directly because Sucker Punch did not work directly. Maybe it was a third-party software that's porting it to PC, but they are familiar with what that developer is doing and what Sucker Punch is doing, so they have this parity again. I believe that potentially the delay in the announcement of Ghost of Tsushima 2 is for it to potentially launch exclusively on the PlayStation Pro hardware. Now, I know this is absurd and most likely it's not going to, but there could be features that are so advanced or improved from the PlayStation 5 to the PlayStation Pro version that they want to market it as such, and therefore they're waiting for that announcement so that they can appeal to anybody that's going to buy into the PlayStation 5 Pro ecosystem by having Ghost of Tsushima as one of its particularly good-looking launch titles. Number 2, Destiny 2 Remastered. I know. We've heard all the news from Bungie and Sony not really getting along or having issues. And I'm not even sure this is even a possibility knowing how Bungie actually works and having no faith in that studio. But there could have been a pivot sometime in development that is not leaked or that is not being talked about in these recent documents that there was this need to kind of increase the graphical fidelity. They've already done it from the PS4 to the PS5. I think the next evolution is from the PS5 to the PS5 Pro, which is going to make it in parity to the PC port version. You can still play it on the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4. It's just each iteration is going to provide a better overall performance in graphical fidelity. The only hesitation I have of this one, well, it's kind of twofold, is the issues between Sony and Bungie. Their developer, in essence, has not performed and always seems like they're always behind in every game they've ever developed. Destiny, or whether it be Halo and with Xbox or with Activision, like they've always seemed like they've never been able to just like go full throttle for consecutive years. They've always had some issues. So I am very hesitant, but I think this would revitalize the series. I think this would revitalize the interest in Destiny, give it the additional polish. They could even increase the PC specs of this game, and then just leave the Xbox, PS5, PS4 editions exactly the way they are and give you the next evolution of Destiny 2 Remastered. Last, but certainly not least, in my number one, PlayStation 5 Pro game to launch exclusively on the console. Bloodborne 4K 60 frames, ray tracing, 3D sound quality, all the bells and whistles, all the hype, all the nostalgia. It's happening. Bluepoint has been in development for 4 years since Demon's Souls launched with impressive review scores. The game is still one of the best looking PS5 games out there currently. I recommend anybody who's interested in the Souls series, if they have a PlayStation, to pick up this game. I believe it's on PlayStation Plus. It's a fantastic port. I think that research and that time that they took to build out that game has allowed them to eventually do 2 games at once. I think they could have produced Bloodborne 4K 60 frames, ray tracing, in conjunction with whatever new IP they're working with, and that new IP could actually not release for another couple years because they're going to release this in the meantime. Bloodborne, 4K, 60 frames, ray tracing, all the bells and whistles, 3D audio. Lock it in. It's definitely going to happen. It's going to be exclusive to the PlayStation 5 Pro. Guaranteed. And before you think we're done, we're not. I have one honorable mention. One of the biggest franchises in the entire world, in the entire entertainment industry. But this is also the biggest speculation in this video. And it's not on my top 5, so it's an honorable mention. Grand Theft Auto 6. I know that Grand Theft Auto is one of the best-selling entertainment IPs in the entire world to ever exist in any era. And for them not to relaunch on Xbox or PlayStation 5 with their 80 million install base would be absolutely an insane strategy. But we do know that Xbox and PlayStation are both working on next mid-generation hardware, PlayStation 5 Pro and whatever the Xbox iteration is from Series X. It is 1% likely. It is 5% likely. It is 15% likely that if, let's say, Microsoft and Sony offset some of their development cost, paid them some money, in the amount of, let's say, $150 million each, which I know is an absurd amount. But if you're in the hardware business, that is nothing compared to trying to sell a console. They locked down an exclusivity deal for their next-gen hardware so that it could actually run at 60 frames per second, have the highest graphical fidelity. And listen, if there's going to be one studio that does it, and that does it their way, it's Rockstar. PlayStation 5 exclusive, Xbox next generation, mid-generation exclusive, 25% possible. You heard it here first. Nobody else is reporting this because nobody else dares to even believe that it may not launch on the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5. Except your man Plazookas. If you like this content, like, subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.